Okay, in this video we're going to look at formatting your histogram, your graphic here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by making some changes to our horizontal axes here to our labels. So I'm going to click on it once so that's highlighted. You can kind of see those little blue boxes, lets me know it's highlighted, and then I'm going to double click. And then I get these formatting options over here on the right hand side of the screen. I'm going to move over one to where it says size and properties. It's a little triangle kind of moves over. So what I want to do is I can place my numbers in different orientations, but I'm going to stick it on horizontal, but then I'm going to rotate it. So from horizontal, I'm going to say negative 60 degrees. So now it rotated my data negative 60 degrees, so counterclockwise 60 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'll keep it in the middle of the cell, and that's fine for my axes there. So I'll go ahead and close that. Click on my title. Again, it's highlighted, and I'm just going to double click to be inside of it. I'm going to change it because histogram doesn't really tell me anything, so I'm going to slide over. Let's take this over here. I'm going to copy that actually first. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut. I'm going to Control C. My other option would have been just to right click and copy. Go over to my table. There we go. And paste. And then I can get rid of that for a second. Slide over. I'm going to resize it. No. Okay, I'll mess with that a little bit. So now let's go to, there we go. If I stretch that out a little bit, it gives me more room to place it in there. Next thing I want to do, let's take a look at your vertical axis. So I'm going to click on the numbers, and not necessarily the word, but the numbers. Double click. Again, my options pop up over here. This is what's my minimum, 0. My maximum, 60. Now if I look at my max over here, where did it go? In my frequency table, my highest frequency was 48. So for frequency, I don't need to go all the way to 60. So I'm going to change my max to 50. And now I go from 0 to 50 in increments of 5. I don't know if I want increments of 5. So I'm going to go down here to, let's go to labels, or number, and tick marks. Okay, here we go, sorry. Units, major. So we're going to go by how many units. So I'm going to just go by 10. So we're going to every 10. And the little tick marks, these little things, 10, 20, 30. So I'm going to say that I want them to cross over. And you know what? I think I'm going to do my minor ones every 5. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to have my minor ones on the outside. So it goes 5. I don't need to see the 5, but I want to have like a little tick mark there on my minor ones, which are every 5. And I'm going to show, I'm only showing though my major ones. Okay, so next to the axes, and that all looks good, so I can close this. Across the bottom where it says bin, I'm going to change that. So I'm going to say early career pay, because that's what this represents. I'm going to delete that altogether because I don't think we need it, because we already have the word frequency over here. And we can, if we wanted to, we can make that bigger or smaller. If we frequency, highlight all that. I'm going to go size 20. See if I can fit that in. There we go. Now, the space between the columns, I'm going to click on the column, any of the columns, and I'm going to double click. And it says, all right, series overlap and series gap width. So I don't want any overlap between them. but I want the gap between them to be really small. So if you go to 0, then it just pushes them all together. I'm going to say I want just like a 5%, so I have just a small gap between each one. So now I've changed my title, I've changed my labels, I've rotated my text, I've changed the width of my columns. For some reason, if some of these options aren't appearing for you, like, you know what, one thing I might want to do, let's go back to our vertical axes. And I am going to want to take marks, labels, numbers. Let's see if we can get our major axes to actually that's just our alignment. I wanted to show my grid lines. For right now, we're going to leave it the way it is. But if some of these options don't show for you, if you just click on the entire graph, you'll have a little symbol that says plus. And there you go, my grid lines. And if I go a little triangle, if I click that and I go to my little triangle here, I can have my major horizontal, my vertical, minor vertical. So I just want my major horizontal one. So at the 10, the 20, the 30, so the major ones, not the 5. I guess you could put in your 5, 10 if you want to. So there we go. So now it's easier for somebody to count over. Just follow the 20 or follow the 25, follow the 30. So somewhere between 25 and 30 on this one. So there's all your values right there. You have some different choices if you want to label them. You don't want your chart to get too busy. So look at some of your options. What I'd like it to see you do is rotate your text, put in your major grid lines. You can put your minor ones in if you want as well. Change your axes titles. Oh, I guess this one stays frequency, but label this one so I know what this represents. And change your title. So go ahead and try those things. Update your histogram.